All right, hey everyone, this is Rudy. Hey, I just uploaded a video and had to delete it because it showed my home address. So we're gonna try this again, and I'm gonna try to not to show my home address. What's that word called anyway when you start posting somebody's home address all over the internet? There's a fancy word for it. It's not spoofing. I should try to look that up. Anyway, okay. So you guys know I invested quite a bit of time into this KenHovenIsInnocent.com video series. And not only would I like to see Judge Margaret worse than rape Catherine Rodgers impeached, but I would like to see her go to prison, and I'd like to see Ken Hoven sue the pants off her and all the other evildoers, including Michelle Heldemeyer and the IRS agent Scott Snyder and Charles Evans, for about $30 million, and he can start building the world's largest dinosaur and the world's largest Noah's Ark out there in Alabama. But anyway, I told you guys I would report what came back in the mail, and I think I've got my address covered up properly on this one, but this letter came back. It says United States Court of Appeals, 11th Circuit, Office of the Clerk, 56 Forsyth Street, Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia, 30303. And then underneath that it says official business penalty for private use, $300. And initially I was like, what the heck does that mean, penalty for private use? But I looked it up, and what it means is I can't use their envelopes to mail my personal letters, which I don't plan on doing anyway. I got my own stamps and my own letters. I don't need their envelopes to mail my personal letters, right? So anyway, they always try to threaten you with, fancy words and stuff. So it's labeled confidential, and I don't want it to be confidential. I want it to be shouted from the halls of Congress that we need to impeach Judge Margaret worse than rape Catherine Rodgers. So inside this bigger envelope comes a smaller envelope, and inside that envelope, or on that envelope, it's labeled confidential a second time. And then there is this letter, and this letter I have my address covered up where I didn't have it covered up before, but let's read it together. United States Court of Appeals, 11th Circuit, 56 Forsyth Street, Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia, 30303, www.ca11uscourts.gov. David J. Smith, Clerk of Court, Amy C. Nuremberg, Chief Deputy Clerk, January 18th, 2017. Confidential. Well, I don't want it to be confidential. I want it, like I said, to be shouted from the halls of Congress, just shouted all across the land of America. Judge Margaret, worse than rape Catherine Rodgers, needs to be impeached and imprisoned, and her cellmate can be Michelle Heldemeyer, and they can put in that other prosecutor in there. I forget his name right now. What was his name? Greg something. I think it was Greg Miller. Maybe I can't remember all their names. But I know that IRS agent Scott Snyder and Charles Evans needs to go to prison for the rest of their life. And Ken Hoven needs to sue their pants off for spending 9 years in prison as an innocent man. But the letter goes on to say, judicial complaint number 11-17-90014 in a matter of a complaint filed by Rudy Davis. That's me. Dear Mr. Davis, receipt is acknowledged of a complaint of judicial misconduct or disability regarding Chief U.S. District Judge Margaret C. Rodgers of the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Florida. Your complaint has been docketed under judicial complaint number 11-17-90014 and is being transmitted pursuant to the provisions of Title 28 U.S.C. Section 351-364 and the rules for judicial conduct and judicial disability proceedings of the Judicial Conference of the United States. Okay, if you ask me what that means, I have no idea. I got some kind of complaint number assigned. Probably means they're going to throw me in the trash. I have no idea what that means. Sincerely, David J. Smith, Clerk of Court. Christian Kennerly, Deputy Clerk, 404-335-6577. And that was the only thing in the letter. So I guess they have acknowledged they have received my judicial complaint of judicial misconduct. And I pray that the Lord God Almighty of the universe will intervene in the affairs of humans, and that he will see this thing through such that it results in all of the evildoers, including Judge Margaret worse than rape Catherine Rodgers, Michelle Heldemeyer, IRS agent Scott Schneider, Charles Evans, and I think it's Greg Miller. I could be wrong. I think he's the other prosecutor. I hope they all go to prison for the rest of their life, and I hope they all lose all their property, and I hope their family leaves them, just like Ken Hoven's family, or some of Ken Hoven's family left him, and they can sit in prison for 4 times 9 years The Bible said you need to pay back fourfold, so 4 times 9, 9, 9, 18, 18, 18, 36. They can spend 36 years in prison. All right. God bless everybody. If I get any more letters, I'll let you guys know. Take care. God bless.